Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome to Wake Up Wednesdays. So, wake up. How are you guys doing today? How is your week going? The purpose of these Wake Up Wednesdays are an opportunity for us to reinvigorate one another, for us to recalibrate towards our plan. And how we do that is we check against our GSD list, which is a get stuff done list, which is an outcome driven list. And it's not about making to dos. If you're a list guy like me and you love making lists and you love crossing off your to dos, if your to dos don't tie back or lead towards making progress towards your outcomes and your overall plan, then what's the point anyway? You're just going from meeting to meeting to meeting. You're double and triple booked. People are pinging you on chat systems, sending you direct messages. You have queries to answer. And we can pick our heads up midweek, every week in these Wake Up Wednesdays to recharge and reinvigorate one another. So wake up. I want to talk to you guys today about an article I posted in the group chat entitled Herding Cats. So if you're wondering, Mark, what do you mean by herding cats? Herding cats is, if you think about that, how do you herd a cat? You try and tell the cat to go here, or you try and tell the cat to go there, or you try and set up something for the cat to do this way or that way, and they kind of just do their own thing. So herding cats is really referring to mastering the art of influence with stakeholders in your project. So I'm just going to check my notes here and we're going to cover some of the top tips on how to herd cats or how to influence your stakeholders. So the art of influence, the top tips and tricks for managing your stakeholders really comes down to a good blend of charm, wit, humor, and by having that with some strategy, you can transform the circus that is your stakeholder base in your project to a well-oiled machine. So the first thing is communication really the bedrock of all influence? And the answer is yes. The bedrock of all influence is communication. And the way that you want to start off your communication with your stakeholders is by having what I call big ears, big eyes, but little lips. And what that means is you want to listen, you want to watch and observe and learn. You don't want to talk a lot. Um, you want to make sure that they feel heard. And when they say something to you, you want to summarize it, not repeat it back to them, but summarize it. And this shows that you're paying attention and it helps to clarify any misunderstandings. The big tip here with having big ears, big eyes, and little lips is that if you want to influence your stakeholders, you need to allow them to influence you first. And the only way that they're going to be able to influence you first is if you listen to them and you pay attention. So the next is talking the talk. So you can't just walk the walk, you got to talk the talk. And how you do that is looking at the words that they use. So stakeholders, and especially in big business, where I work with people from the biggest businesses across the globe, all different kinds of time zones and locations. People love to use proprietary three-letter acronyms, four-letter acronyms. You want to make sure you understand what those acronyms stand for. You use them as well and use them in the correct context. When you start to do that, they'll feel you guys are one and the same. So you're listening to them and you're talking the talk. So the next is, if you build it, will they really come? Yeah, they will. If you build a bridge, they will come. They'll cross the bridge, but you're going to need to meet them halfway. You need to meet stakeholders where they are, and in order to do that, you have to have solid ground. And the way you establish solid ground for the footing for the bridge you're going to build is by creating common goals and outcomes that you guys are going to work on together. So it's no longer about you as a specific person, as a program manager, or them as a specific person for whatever whatever they're representing at your stakeholder base, whether they're representing technology, product, operations, logistics, marketing, etc. It's about a common goal that you guys work towards together. The next is understanding, or the third tip is understanding, why should they help you? Why should they help you? It's very important. If you don't understand why they should help you, and I know what you guys are thinking, you're thinking, well, they get paid to help me. Yes, they get paid to help you, but the more senior people you work with, it's less about the money, it's less about the pay, it's more about understanding them. So, knowing what their motivations are, knowing, are they worried about budget? They're worried about technology. It's knowing what motivates them, and then you can tailor things to help them, understanding that it's not a one size fits all. Every stakeholder is different, and you're going to have to tailor your approach. And then it's triple D, so not Guy Fieri's diners, Guyvins, and jives, triple D, but data-driven decisions. So it's discussing outcomes with your stakeholders based on the facts and figures, not on the emotions, based on the data. And then the fourth tip is, how do you play the long game? So when we talk influence, we talk the long game. The long game means that if the average life cycle of a project you're running is anywhere between 18 to 36 months, that means it's going to take you a year or so before you really start to establish a high level of trust and influence with stakeholders. And in a perfect world, you guys continue to work on different projects together. If you're working with stakeholders over an 18 to 36 month period on average, and you have new stakeholders every time, then if you're lucky, it's going to take you a couple of months to establish influence with them. And then once again, that's established over consistency over time. So you want to make sure you're very consistent. And you also want to make sure that you ask them for feedback and you adjust accordingly. So asking them what they think, not of you. Once again, it's not about you as a person. It's about the overall goals and objectives of the project. Will then help you to adjust accordingly. So when in doubt, guys, a little bit of humor can go a long way. So go out there and get them and have some fun along the way, or try and make them have fun. Fun isn't the primary outcome, but it can help with stakeholder influence. So I hope you guys appreciated this opportunity to think about herding cats and influencing stakeholders. Once again, we talked about, is communication really the bedrock of all influence? Yes, it is. If you build that bridge, will they really come? Yes, they will. You have to meet them halfway where they are and establish a solid foundation, solid ground by establishing common goals and outcomes. Understanding, why should they help you? What are their particular motivations? And are you bringing data-driven decisions? And number 4, how do you play the long game? You play the long game by being consistency over time. And don't forget to throw in a little bit of humor here and there. All right, guys, so thank you for the opportunity to think about herding cats or stakeholder management. Let's continue to keep the conversation going. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And once again, welcome to Wake Up Wednesday. So wake up and hustle harder and have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.